Hi everybody, my name's Perry Timms, I'm the CIPD Social Media and Engagement Advisor, and it's my pleasure to talk to you about the delights and the use of social media if you're in HR. Before I begin, you might want to take a note of this because you can find out an awful lot about what the CIPD are up to by following their Twitter feed. So how do we make the most of social media if we're in HR? We probably wonder whether there's some business benefit and practical applications of it. Well, you don't know unless you connect. So the first thing to do is find one or two social media platforms. That might be LinkedIn, that might be Twitter, but connect. Join the platform, find out what it's all about, find some good people to connect to, and that's the first part of the process. The next thing you'll find is that information flows very readily on a social platform. So I'd encourage you to consume. There's an awful lot of really good, very, very topical and relevant information posted on social networks. Especially if you find some really key practitioners who are around the world of HR and the world of work. They put out some content that's their own, and they'll also post content from other people. So make sure you use it first as a connected channel that you can consume great content. The next thing I'd encourage people to do with social media is to let your curiosity roam. Because you may find some people who aren't in HR who are talking about some really useful things around digital technology, around the latest in marketing, some demographics research, or the latest bulletins from the UK Commission for Employment and Skills. And of course CIPD's own Twitter feed and social posts will enable you to let your curiosity go on a trail. Click, follow links, download infographics, look at YouTube and video clips, but let your curiosity take you on a journey through social. The next thing you'll find once your curiosity is piqued, you find the urge to collaborate, and by that you may find like-minded practitioners with specialities in employment law, recruitment, learning development, organisation development and leadership. So collaborate with people, just connect with them, mention that you're interested in what they post and what you're into. So collaboration is a key part of the social media network. You'll then find you're in a position to start curating, and it's a very grand term, and really what we mean by curating is that once you've found good people and good content, you store it, you're able to retrieve it, you can bookmark it, and there are a range of apps and technologies around which can help you with the curation piece. You effectively create your own library out of a mass of digital content available on the web, and we'll talk in this massive open online course about how you make the most of curation skills. The real benefit comes when you start to comment. People may write blogs, people may post articles and share really useful insight. The benefit comes when you start to comment, if it invokes a reaction, if it piques your curiosity, if you want to collaborate with somebody on it, the best thing to do is comment. You don't have to write a huge piece, just generally a question that's in your mind. The social media world, especially in the HR practitioner field, is very generous and will entertain your comments and your curiosity and talk to you about them. So please, encourage you to comment. Once you've then found some comment of your own, then you can share it. Often the inclination is to think, well, somebody else will post that. But actually the great benefit of having a social network is that it's people like you sharing great content, and there's a lot of it, so it might get missed. So if you find something really useful for you, I'd encourage you to share it, because somebody else in your network may find that just the thing they're looking for and know who else to share that with. It's very much a kind of giving, sharing economy on social media. One of the things we ought to do a little bit more of is smile, and by that I mean let your posts be lively but serious, professional but fun, buoyant and vibrant. There's an energy created by using social networks, and the smile will come through. So I encourage you to post in a positive sense and encourage discussion and challenge where possible, but we can all do with a little more smile. So generally speaking, I think that's the key term with social media, that we socialise. We can socialise our content, we can socialise our opportunities. And as we're finding as HR practitioners, we can also socialise our job posting. So when we're recruiting for people, we can recruit in a social sense. When we're looking to learn, we can socialise our learning. And we're even finding now when we're looking to lead and inspire, we can socialise that kind of content inside and outside your organisation. So my recommendation to you is get social.